All right, so welcome to the WHTM podcast. I'm John.
I'm Joe.
All right, we probably should stop doing that because people get annoyed if we keep introducing ourselves. All right, so Columbia House Record Revival. Joe, what do you know about Columbia House Records?
All right,
Or
so
the
Columbia
Record Club.
House was a service that started way back in the 1950s, and the long and short of it was that you would get so many of a product for a low price. In exchange, you would be contractually obligated to buy some more products after that, so CDs, vinyl. I believe the big one was you would get like 12 CDs for a penny.
8 for a penny was what I remember.
8 for a penny?
Maybe it was 12.
But either way,
they probably had different ones.
Either way, a lot of people bought into that. That they thought it was a great deal. It was a very fast way to increase your music collection.
Well, my dad was actually a member. We were talking about it this week.
But of course, the digital music age happened. Everybody started getting everything for free, and now the music industry is crazy, and they went bankrupt, and that happened recently.
Yeah, I can't tell you what's going to even happen in the next 10 years to the music industry.
Idea.
Nope, no clue.
Yeah, not even talking about trying to make your own album at this point. That could be a whole nother topic. But the long and short is that now somebody is going to take the Columbia House name and wants to kind of reboot it using vinyl to ride off of the recent wave in vinyl popularity.
And I think it's safe to, and if you're not aware, for instance, my dad was not aware that vinyl was as popular as it is. I'm like, it's outselling CDs. You had that new Adele. Well,
no way, dude. But apparently it's popular. I mean, I feel like from the hipster young people community, like, oh, we like it because it's old and it's vintage at this point.
so are you saying that everyone who likes vinyl is a hipster?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying it started in a community in order to get backing.
Well,
and that just so happens to be.
It is funny because our mutual friend Sean Eldridge actually never stopped collecting vinyl because you had a lot of like hardcore bands, punk bands, death and black metal bands that would only release their albums on vinyl, and which in the 90s was pretty impressive. Since obviously they were like, well, if you really want to listen to our music, you'll figure out how to get a turntable and a working stylus. So that was a thing. So it's been around certainly in communities, but yeah, I think the hipster community certainly has.
And you found an article the other day. Amazon's highest selling music media playing product this year was vinyl players.
Yeah, specifically the Jensen. I don't remember the number. Do you remember? Actually, I think
not off the top of my
if
head.
I'm not mistaken, I think that's what your sister got you for.
It turns out that is not the exact one, but I did get a vinyl and MP3 player, not a CD or a cassette player. So we kind of skipped those. But yes, I did get that as a gift this year for the holiday season. So that is an example of it. Yes, people are buying them.
Yeah, actually. And again, I just mentioned the Adele album. I want to say it moved like 22,000 units, which for an LP is a lot. And actually, when I was looking up the story, so I was like, oh, let me look at reviews of the Jensen player. It's like a $50 player. It said customers frequently bought this and the Adele record.
That is popular right now.
I feel when people are buying Adele records and not I don't know, Burzum albums, then it's clearly super mainstream. I mean, they're in Barnes and Nobles, and I'm pretty sure you'll see some Targets with it. So the question is, I guess what we're saying is there's clearly a market for the aspect of vinyl.
Right.
And people, the big thing, my dad was a member of the Columbia Record House Club when CDs, and he may have been also with records, but when CDs became popular in the late 80s, and all of a sudden he's like, well, I need to build up my CD collection. So, he bought a lot of older albums and things like that. So I think there's a market in terms of that. I mean, people are saying, oh, well, I don't want to just have like 3 albums on vinyl. And now I saw people on Facebook putting, dedicated almost, record cabinets together and things like that. and I don't think you want to have the Adele album and 2 other albums if you're going to dedicate that much space. So I think it does work from that standpoint.
Well, the question is, does Columbia House have a place in all of it?
Yeah.
Like, am I going to pay to have vinyl shipped to me in bulk?
I will eat my hat, which I'm not currently wearing, if they do a mail catalog thing like they used to do, where they're going to ship you out something and you're going to check it and send it in. I mean, there's no way that's happening. I think we're in agreement that,
Well,
unless for
they
nostalgia,
can send you an email
unless
version
it's
of that.
unless it's nostalgia factor. Well, I'm just saying it. So it's obviously it's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
So the question is, does eBay and Discogs and other things like that ruin the sort of market where Columbia House would be like, well, people want to get a lot of albums. This is a quick way to do it. Or even the revival of record stores. I mean, you can go to Princeton Record Exchange, drop X amount of dollars, and get, 20 of your favorite albums like that, and immediately have like an instant collection. So yeah, does eBay make the idea of a Columbia House Records obsolete? I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, again, we go back to physical music versus digital distribution, which obviously digital distribution of music turned everything upside down. I'm not sure. That's not a service I would want personally. I'm cool with getting vinyl as like a gift. I would even go to Princeton Record Exchange, like you said, or a place comparable and maybe get some. I don't think I would pay to be obligated to get a giant stack of them all at once. Even just physical space in my house, it's far better. Just like, we're music teachers. We need tons and tons of tracks depending on whatever we're doing. It's much more convenient for me to have that on a device already.
Yeah. I mean, there's something to be said. I mean, I actually went to Princeton Record Exchange with my dad, and that's where we were talking about the Columbia House thing, where there's something to be said about flipping through, going and saying, ooh, look, an album, and holding in your hand and opening it up and looking at the cover art, or and I tend to buy a lot of classical LPs, classical guitar and things like that, and I purchased it's called John and Julian, which is a John Williams, not the Star Wars composer, which we will be talking about later in the podcast, and Julian Bream duo album.
Yeah,
and it just the cover. I mean, I've heard a lot of the stuff from there, but the cover just looked cool because it was like from the '70s with the psychedelic, thing, and John Williams has this long hair and things like that, and it looked cool, and almost on just cool factor alone, you want to buy it. But I miss the days of going to a CD store. Yeah, I'm not that old. Going, picking through, finding some band that maybe I've never even heard of, but I like the way the cover looked, just taking a shot on it, and either you find your new favorite band, or you just realize that you wasted $12.99 or whatever you're paying. I'm interested to see what ends up happening. I think you will have a market for it. I'd have to know the pricing.
I'm very skeptical if it will be a billion-dollar industry that they're going to be magically starting.
Yeah, it's also not particularly easy to ship vinyl properly. I mean, it's I'm going to send you one.
That's my Amazon Christmas packages that were cracked open.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm not sure if I trust large stacks of breakable albums to come to my house in one piece.
So yeah, we'll probably be talking more about vinyl because that's obviously a trend in the music industry. I think it's a good trend. It's nice to get away from everything's an MP3. I don't know what your thoughts on that are.
I'm not quite sure. That it's really a competition at this point. Do we go back to the way things were more, or do we keep going with this digital thing and try to find a new medium of distribution?
So you're not drinking the vinyl Kool-Aid?
I'm not currently.
Not currently?
Not currently.
All right.